you guys had time today. And now I've got time to do a reaction video. So if you guys don't already know, I was recently on Kevin Samuels live on Wednesday nights. All right, you guys can follow me at the Bonnie Banks. You'll see some of the commentary that happened on that live. I ended up making a questions that need answers about modern day women, which was something that was a sparked conversation from my interview. But I ain't gonna hold you. I know why you guys came here. So let's get into it, okay? First and foremost, let me tell you my mindset. I was chilling on the couch watching James Brown's Netflix, right? And I had Kevin Samuels live in the background. So of course this is all for kicks. This is for jokes. I was like, okay, like I'm in the live. This is cool. And all of a sudden I see my phone load me into the live. And at that point I was like, okay, well, you're about to be on. Like, let's get on it. All right, so it's a surprise interview and it's very unexpected. I was just here to hear what Kevin had to say, if he could add any more advice to my dating life, because that is why I listened to Kevin Samuels. Now, I previously listened to a lot of his interviews, took heed to his advice, and have applied it. I do think it's important that women listen to what men want. So here I was. But let's get into this. Now, first of all, Kevin, why did you have to do me like that? It's the title for me. Like, she makes 50K, but he needs to make 500K so I can be like, hello, Hunnay with Jeannie Mai. Really, Kevin? That was the title? That's what you chose? You didn't even have to do me like that. Just let me continue on. All right, let's get into the video. Here we go.
Is your price too high?
No, I don't feel like it's too high at all.
Okay. What do you want?
I feel like I watch you and I listen to everything that you say. And I mean, I want a man that's definitely going to be able to pay the bills, like take care of me. But I still want to be able to have the option to work and do like my career, have a career and still have kids.
How many children do you want?
2.
Okay, so you want it all.
Okay, so let me just stop it real quick right there, right? The question he asked me was, is my price too high? In terms of saying what I wanted, of course, personally, I think a lot of women want security from their man. So I would want my man to pay majority of the bills, right? I did not say that I would not contribute to that, but I would want him to pay the mortgage and maybe the home bills, but I would pay the groceries and things for kids. Like, I think that that's things that you communicate with your spouse. And when I'm saying that, that's where mentally I am, okay? For all of you guys that were like, well, she said she wants somebody to take care of her. I mean, I think all women want to feel secure and taken care of, okay?
Yeah.
Where do you live?
I'm in North Georgia, like Gwinnett.
Okay. Well, are you currently seeing somebody right now that can pay your bills?
Nope, not at the moment.
When was the last relationship you had?
My last relationship was about 3 years ago. I was with him for 6 years.
And why didn't you guys get married for 6 years?
I met him in college and that was my first boyfriend. And so, yeah, I think we just went through a lot. And by the time we got to the end where we could possibly make something work, it just did not work.
Okay, how much money is a man going to need to make to be able to pay all the bills for a family of 4?
I just want everybody to hear his question. How much does a man need to make to take care of a house of 4? And I have previously watched his videos where he has mentioned that this is how much it actually would take. This is the amount of money that a man would need to make just to support 4 people. So even had I said 150, he would have persuaded me into the direction of, actually, that's delusional, as he likes to use. That's delusional, and it actually takes 400. So that's where my mindset was coming from when I spewed out 400K, because I knew that that's where we were going to go in this conversation. But realistically, I would want to date a man that makes between 80 to 100. I think that that is my price. Okay. If I'm unrealistic, I'm sure you guys will tell me in the comments.
In Atlanta.
Atlanta? Probably well over 400K.
And do you care if he's black or not?
No.
Yeah, but he will. The more money men tend to make, the more racially loyal they tend to be.
Okay.
What percentage of men in this country make $400,000 or more?
Oof, probably like.
She froze on me.
Oh.
What percentage of men in this country make over $400,000?
I would say maybe 2 to 4%. Probably not a lot.
1%.
Okay.
1%. So let's go back to what you said. I feel, which is kryptonite. Men don't care about what you feel. We think, act, and do. You want it all. At 28 years old, with no men in the pipeline, and you want a top 1% man.
You told me that I wanted a top 1% man. I didn't say that. I just told you that the top 1% man could pay for 4 people. That's all I said.
What is a man who making the kind of money you're talking about making? What do those men typically want from a woman?
Youth, beauty. That's probably it. I wouldn't say submission.
Is that the TV or something?
Yeah, probably is a
Can you turn
TV.
it down, please? Yeah. Now, the number one thing that men like that tend to want is cooperation. And a man who's making $400,000 a year, at what age do you think men make that legally?
Well over 35.
Well over 35. Men hit that financial stride between 45 and 55. Are you prepared to marry a man that's 45 years old or older?
No.
So you're a delusional black woman.
Don't hurt. That hurt, Kel.
You don't have any of this in your life.
Wait. Hold on. Don't play me now. I mean, I'm dating. There are some men in the pipeline that could be, okay? Hold on now. Before you just nix my little dating life.
You don't have it in the pipeline. And not only do you want a man who's in the top 1%, you want him to be closer to your age. And then you want him to want what you want him to want.
Right.
So, if this was just a math problem, it seems to me that you don't know these men.
Well, I feel like I date men that are ambitious, maybe more so in my age. And then I've started to recently date a lot older men.
But you skip past the question. You don't know these men.
No, I don't know those men that make 500K. No.
You don't even know what they typically want. They typically want a traditional wife, which means your career, that's due respect. Why do you need it if you're not paying any bills?
I mean, I still want my own sense of like being of who I am.
Buy a dog. See, careers are for outcomes. So you want it to look like I got my own sense. Your sense can be to be a wife to a productive, competitive, successful man and a successful mother to 2 children. Why is that not enough?
Why can I not have my career and have my kids and my husband?
Because you're not qualified.
What makes me unqualified?
You don't know these men. You don't even know what they want. They don't want what you want traditionally. You can want it, but this is where it comes right down to what makes you not qualified. When I talk to these men, they don't want modern women. Again, you want your husband to be making $400,000+. Who's going to raise your children what is your career?
Media correspondent.
Okay. So when you are off on site, where are the children going to be?
Daycare.
So somebody else is going to be raising his legacy. Somebody else is going to be raising.
All right, so the daycare comment, I wanted to take that one back, guys. You know, once it's on live and it's out there, it's out. Like, that was word vomit that I wish I could just...
His legacy.
Mm.
No. Then he might as well marry the nanny.
Mm.
See, this is this modern power couple. No. Men don't work 70, 80, 100 hours for 20 plus years to go marry a woman to just carry their children, to allow a stranger to raise them.
I do want to point out that I would not allow a stranger to raise my kids. I would definitely know how important it is for me to raise them. And I know also if I have a young man, how important it is for his dad to be around to also raise a grown man. I am not opposed to taking off a couple years to raise my kids because I know how important it is for women to be with their kids. We are nurturers and we should be instilling things that are part of our lifestyle into our kids.
Right.
So your mother and father married? Are your mother and father married?
Yes, they are.
Okay. Was your father the majority breadwinner?
Mm-hmm.
What did your mother do?
She does admin stuff, but my mom they're both from Jamaica. So coming over here, she used to do Coventry Healthcare. So she used to do clerical stuff for them.
Okay, but your mother worked outside of the house?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do you have much respect for housewives?
I do. It's a full-time job. I have close friends that are doing that.
Okay, but the kind of men you're talking about would want a housewife more often than not.
Mm-hmm.
And
if we're honest, what is the
Kevin, what kind of man am I talking about? Because I still have not really told you what kind of man that I wanted. I've just kind of been going through the motions, answering your questions.
The level at the end of your career, where would you like it to be?
My goal right now is to be like a Jeannie Mai. I want to be a personality that people come and listen to my opinions.
A Jeannie Mai on talk shows?
Yes.
Do you know about how her first marriage turned out?
I do.
Is she talking anything like you now?
Not now, no.
Exactly.
No.
Because it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm. But she's still able to have a relationship and be a media correspondent.
Ma'am, she's talking nothing like you're talking now.
Yes, hello, Hunnay. I love Jeannie, and I love Jeannie's personality, and I love her style, and she is one of the people on that panel that have come from being a personality, like truly a personality, and built it up. So of course I want to mimic my career after her, Kev. I don't want to mimic my love life after her. That's not what I said.